There's some good news. There's some bad news out of tonight's action. Good news for Carolina fans. You're still alive. We're going to Game 7. And that's big news. So, home teams won every single game out of the 6 played so far, which is good news for the Capitals in that Game 7 will be in Washington. This series kind of encapsulated in this game. And I thought it was kind of funny. And I mean that. I always hear you got to be able to play a big physical game. You got to be able to play a big physical game. I tell you, you can't do it. Let's get things started with in the first period. Connolly scores from Eller and Burakovsky. So Connolly with his second goal in as many games. Washington looked pretty good early. And then we get into the fact that the team that scored first has won every single game. And then things kind of start to change a little bit in that Jensen breaks his stick during a penalty kill. Tom Wilson handed off his stick and then decided to leave the ice before the puck left the zone, which meant it was 5-on-3. The penalty actually ends before the goal is scored by Fogle. Hamilton and Slavin with the assist, but Hamilton heads up on seeing, oh, Wilson's left. It's 5-on-3 now. So that goal tied it. But in and around that first period, Ovechkin kind of pushing his weight around, and I'm a big guy, and he kind of did the chicken thing as he went past the Carolina bench, like, you guys are all scared of me. And then before the end of the first period, Ovechkin scores from Orlov and Niskanen. Now during this period, Pierre Maguire goes down and interviews Rod Brind'Amour, and he basically says, you want to stay away from all the extracurricular activities after the whistle, and Rod Brind'Amour says, yeah, we want to keep it between the whistles. Our game is not fighting and getting into the muck. We don't want to play that game. So in between the first and the second, and I'm talking the Canadian feed now, they go to the Sportsnet studios where they're just tearing that comment apart. You can't say your team needs to play in between the whistles. You can't tell the other team, and you can't tell your own team that you don't trust them to play physical. I didn't take it that Brind'Amour was saying that. I took it that Brind'Amour was saying, hey, speed's their game. And even others on the panel were saying, well, speed is their game. We know that. And so we're like, well, yeah, we know that, but you can't say it. And it's just, I thought it was a weird thing for people to take issue with. And it proves that media will try to take issue with anything. I didn't have a problem with what Brind'Amour was asking, or what Brind'Amour was saying. I just thought it was kind of weird of Maguire to ask an obvious question. Like, would Washington with Tom Wilson and Alex Ovechkin rather have a physical beat-em-up game than you guys with Williams and Stahl? And no, the answer is absolutely. So it's 2-1 Washington after one, and they're kind of throwing Carolina under the bus. Second period, and that's despite Carolina owning an edge in shots of 15-7. And my favorite moment, I had to write this on the board, is Eddie Olczyk and Pierre Maguire going back and forth. Maguire's talking about how loud this building is tonight, and he's saying this building's even louder than Chicago. And Eddie Olczyk, who played for the Blackhawks, goes, no, it's not. No, it's loud. It's not louder than Chicago. And Maguire's like, yeah, okay. It's like, I thought it was funny because it's like, here's Olczyk, just no, and he wouldn't let him get away with it. He wouldn't hear anything of it. Now I know they've been talking about decibel levels in Carolina and what they are and where they're at and how loud it is, but by Eddie Olczyk's standard, he still thinks that Chicago's louder, and whether it is or isn't, I thought it was a funny exchange. Second period, Teravainen scores from Aho, and this was at a really, really important point of the game. Very, very key goal. It ties it up at 2. The shots are 9-7 Carolina in the second. So through 2 periods, they've outshot Washington 24-14. This shouldn't be tied. Carolina's definitely playing better, but tie game going into the third period, and you get the feeling, hey, Washington's got a shot here. But in the third period, things really get kind of odd. First off, Jordan Stahl scores from McGinn and Falk. That makes it 3-2. So nice goal there. And it's the first lead change in the series. First time that a team that was ahead has fallen behind in the entire series. And then there's a trip by Chandler Stevenson that looked pretty dangerous on Saku Manalainen. And, it looked kind of like, he brings the feet out from under him. And it was ugly. So Manalainen doesn't get hurt, but he definitely could have. and that results in a penalty on Chandler Stevenson. And then the weird thing happens. The Capitals score. Now, it appears that the puck is under Mrazek, and they never came out and explained on the broadcast what happened, but the puck's under Mrazek. The puck goes into the net. The Capitals celebrate. The referee goes, nope. He says no, even though the puck's in the net before the whistle goes. They go to replay, and on the headset, they come out and they go, nope, that's no goal. Call on the ice stands. I'm guessing, and I'm only saying I'm guessing because at this point I still haven't heard, that the referees were going to blow the whistle, or the puck was under the goaltender, Mrazek, and they argue that it only went in because a Capitals player knocks him to knock it into the net. So that's what I was thinking. So that's why I've Caps goal disallowed Y on the board, because they didn't say that I heard during the game. And that was a real change in momentum. Now let's go back to the first period. And you've got Ovechkin showboating and, oh, you guys are chickens, you guys are scared of me kind of thing as he's going by the Carolina bench. His mood changes on that goal. The mood of all the Washington Capitals changes on that goal. Williams then scores from Pesce and Stahl, and that's when Capitals go nuts, because instead of it being a 3-3 tie, now it's 4-2 in favor of Carolina. And they pull the goalie with a lot of time left in the game. I get why, but Hamilton scores from Martinook. It's an empty netter for him. And then Ovi just, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Ovi in this game. He takes the slash in a 10-minute misconduct. And he has some unkind words for officials and probably for the Hurricanes as he leaves the ice. He starts the game off cocky and coming off as arrogant on TV, and I'm the greatest. You guys are all scared of me. And by the end of the game, he's booted out, and he's the one losing his cool, and it's the Capitals that lose the game 5-2. I thought it was really, really bizarre, and I'm really glad I watched this game. This was a really fun game to watch. Not probably as much fun if you're a Washington fan, because you probably wanted it done tonight. You didn't want there to be a third Game 7, and there may be a fourth Game 7 as well. So it's official, my jerseys cause Game 7s. Who knew? Holtby, 31 saves on 35 shots. Mrazek, 23 saves on 25 shots. Mrazek had a very nice redemption game tonight. Holtby, I thought, played well. Just, again, he was outplayed by Mrazek at the other end of the ice. Game 7 should be very interesting. These teams clearly don't like each other, but Carolina's keeping their noses clean for the most part. I know when we get back to Washington in Game 7, Warren Fogle will be booed every time he touches the puck, and he's the devil. But, this series is a nice back and forth, and I'm really enjoying the dynamic here. Carolina controls the play in every period, 15-7, 9-7, and 12-11. The Capitals get close in that third period. The goal's taken off the board before it's on the board. And the Capitals, and probably the fans, won't like it. But again, I don't mind the call. I think the call's fine. Normally they'll say, after further review, it's confirmed the puck was under the goaltender, and that's why it's no goal. But in this case, it just went, no, confirms what we said on the ice. It ain't a goal. It's not happening. And that's it. So, big win for the Carolina Hurricanes. They're going to a Game 7. Capitals are going to a Game 7, though I'm sure they're not happy about it. But at least it's at home. Can all the games be won by the home team in this series? This is the series that's keeping home records decent throughout the playoffs. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. If you're browsing your way through, just tap it upon this video. And hey, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.